All right, disclaimer, if you don't want to hear complaining or, ooh, you're so angry all the time, then don't watch it. Just click away right now. I'm going to be talking about my week, talking about work. If you don't want to hear me complaining about work or whatever, go away. Okay? So I know there's just always that one person who's like, oh, you always complain about everything. You're always so angry. Just go away. Don't leave a comment. Don't just go. All right, gone. Ta ta. Bye bye. Toodaloo. Sayonara. Adios. Um, So the easier stuff first. My internet, it was really messing up lately, and it turns out the box out there got messed up by lightning. The guy I called last Wednesday, they said, oh, it was fine. They're like, oh, your speed is fine, so it should be normal now. Nope, didn't work. I called Monday. Uh, so it messed up like June 25th. It was messed up, and then I called Monday and they were like, "Oh yeah, your numbers about something about more data or something. I don't remember. Something being restricted or allowing more." They're like, "Oh well, we got your numbers back to what they should be, and it should be fine." Like, I seriously doubt that, but sure. I did say that. I was like, I seriously doubt that. But uh, then I went to make my lunch, and then because I woke up and I was on the phone for them for like I was waiting a while. First, when I first tried calling, it's like, we're sorry, and then it's like due to a high volume, and it's like, yeah, because I bet no one had freaking internet this weekend. But I finally got a hold of them, and I was on the phone for like an hour or so, and then by the time I got off the phone, it was lunchtime. So I'm like, well, let me go make my lunch, and then, if it's fixed, then I'll just sit and watch something while I eat my lunch. And then it started messing up again. So basically, like, it was, I would be on YouTube and I'd hit like, click on subscriptions, right? But then it just load, and I put refresh and then says, no internet connection. Because YouTube has that thing that says no internet connection. Go to Twitter, load, nothing. Reload, sorry, error has occurred. I'm like, okay, and I thought it was my, computer at first, so I did the troubleshooting with the unplugging everything. But then I went on my phone. I'm sitting there trying to do stuff on my phone, and same thing, not loading. So, but yeah, the person, she went into the router and saw, it's like, well, the numbers were this and that, and fixed it. And I'm like, sure, I doubt that, but okay. Made my lunch, trying to eat and enjoy watching whatever it was I was trying to watch, something on YouTube. Still giving me problems, so I'm like, okay, let me finish my lunch and then I'll call them back. I call them back. Another woman answers and she goes into the router and says, well, I'm seeing like a major interference with the signal. Huh. I go through three people and finally get to the interference where someone can finally figure out what's going on. She said, I'll have a technician come out. She said, are you available tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I leave for work at like 12 o'clock. So she scheduled it, and the guy comes over, checks the router, the wires over there, everything's fine. Checks the box out there. He's like, ah, good news for me. So he basically said that the lightning messed it up. Um, I told him about like playing WoW. I was like, yeah, I resubscribed to WoW, and the latency was 12,000. Yeah, so for you guys, you're just like, wait, John, here, did you 12,000? Yeah, it was 12,000. Yeah, 12,000. That's how bad the signal was that wasn't coming through properly. You're like 12,000 as in like two, one, two, and then three zeros after. Yeah. Yeah, that. That was what I was playing with. 12,000 is over 9,000. Actually, it's over 8,000 in the original manga, but 8,000 for some reason just doesn't sound good. So it's over 9,000. Um, but yeah, he got it fixed. And then that was that. So internet's been fixed since Tuesday. Um, Luckily we got some. I was able to get someone out here on the 4th of July. So all right. So now the complaining part, because I'm just so sick and tired of this crap. So my boss comes down last week, and I'm busting my freaking ass, and she comes down there, and she's standing there. I turn around, she's like, "You know this is all you, right? No one's gonna be down here helping you." And at the moment, I really wanted to say something like, "Yeah, I think you've made it painfully obvious that you have no intention on ever sending anyone down here to help." But I didn't say that. I just went about my business. On Wednesday, Sam was down there. He came down to get the buggy and he was gonna what I thought was gonna go collect stuff, but I was throwing in the carpet and she was coming down. But as she was coming down, I was kind of talking to him and I was like, "Yeah, when you collect the carpet, just throw it in so that way on Friday when I come in, I can just bail it." She comes down. She's got a new woman with her, another freaking housekeeper. So we've got like four freaking housekeepers and one bailiff. But she comes down, she's like, less talking, less griping. You talk less, you get caught up. I'm like, I'm doing everything I can. I am going as fast as humanly possible. It's time for me to leave. I've got 7 huge bales done. She's like, well, you can stay till 1 o'clock and you don't, and that's on you. It was like, I've told you why I can't stay till 1. The higher ups know why I don't stay till 1. They don't seem to have a problem with it, but you do. And it all comes down to transportation. I've told her 12 o'clock, it's just more convenient for my landlady. She's like 70 something years old. She doesn't have time to be going here and there, picking me up and doing this and that. I'm like, I'm here, going as fast as humanly possible, doing all of this by myself. And I'm like, I was just telling him that when he collects the carpet, he's like, well, he's not going to be able to collect carpet. He has the trash to collect. And this I said out loud. I was like, of course. Of course. So, but what really pisses me off is that none of the higher ups are saying anything about it. They know she's doing it. They know that we need more people. Both of them that I've talked to have said we need more than one person down there. And it's not because I'm incapable of my job, because one of them is constantly thanking me for doing a good job. She's like, I've done pretty much every job here. You know, I've done this, I've done that, I've been manager here, I've been manager for that. So I know which jobs are hard. So when I say thank you, I mean it because I know which jobs here are hard. So she's like, we're trying to find help, but just no one wants to work. No. But it shouldn't be up to them to find anyone. Like, my boss keeps hiring people, but it's always for housekeeping. Like, my roommate left like a month ago, but yet she's still kind of there, like maybe once or twice a week. What is she doing? Housekeeping. So we got one right there. We've got the new woman, Judy, housekeeper. We've got Jeff. Guess what he does? Housekeeper. And then we've got Sam, who I don't know what he does. I know the first day he was back, he was doing like cleaning microwaves, which is housekeeping. But he's going around collecting carpet and, you know, all like the scraps and garbage. But that doesn't take that long. So, like, what's he doing? I know he says he's going up in the offices and taking out trash there, and so he's basically a housekeeper. So 4 housekeepers, 1 bailiff. But when I ask for help, I get told to shut up. And here's the other part. She constantly, whenever I ask for help, she constantly says, well, other people have jobs to do. No one's going to stop doing their job to come down there and do yours for you. You know what I've had to do this week? I've had to go around collect carpet. Carpet is not my job, but she has no problem making me stop doing my job to go do someone else's. And I know probably a lot of you are just like, oh God. She clearly doesn't see the issue here. She clearly does not see the issue here. And next time she says something, I'm gonna bring that up. You know, my teacher in high school wanted me on the debate team for a reason. And I've only gotten better since then. I mean, I'm borderline stupid at this point, but I can, at least with her, I can still debate circles around this woman. Uh, you know, If someone came to me and said, I will pay you $1 million every time you're right, right against your boss, easiest $10 million of my life. I mean, just the last year, think of several times that I've been right. The easiest several million of my life. So, and you're like, John, what were they? Well, let's see. Uh, when I got back, I told her that there was something wrong with the baler. Of course, she didn't listen to me. She just basically accuses me of being lazy. And then finally, she comes down there and sees that, what do you know? I was right about the baler. So, one right there. In September, do you remember? No. In September, when everything started coming down, the bigger stuff, the lint, the big boxes, uh, I told her, I said, well, whether it be you not having anyone down there, or talking about my roommate, I'm like, whether she, or her leaving, her leaving, you're not going to have anyone down there, and we're going to pile up. It's going to be piled up, and I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. Well, not only was I right about my roommate leaving, but I was also right about it piling up, and not having anyone down there doing it. Um, so there's 4 million right there. Um, the baler, because it's messed up, uh when I did the lint, it would keep, like, I do 30-40 bags, and just like half of them would just burst out. I tell her about it, and she's like, oh well, you need to do it this way, and blah blah blah. So I do it that way, and blah blah blah. In fact, I go above and beyond and do even more than what she said. And I tell her, I'm like, it's still not working. And she basically just accuses, like, of my problem. But then I have Lyle go down there, who is one of the higher ups, and him and Kevin are down there. And what do you know? They find out that there is something wrong. So John was right again. I said that there's probably something wrong, not only with the baler, because that's not crushing everything in the way it should. I said there's probably something wrong with the lint itself. It's, allowing too much air to rush back in, and that kind of forces everything out. So, and then she comes down and she's like, well, I told you how to do it. It's like, yeah, and I did do that. I went above and beyond and did more than what you said, and it was still happening. It's like, well, if you keep up with it and you won't have to, it's like, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? In case you forgot, I'm doing everything down here. And you still expect me to somehow get over to the other baler to do that. So, but right there, easy $5 million. I could have quit my job, got myself a whole new system here, renovated the freaking house. Because if I was a multimillionaire, I would just stay right here. I was $275 a month. She pays $275, is like $500 a month, or a little over 500. I would just stay right here. I would just, you have all these people like become multimillionaires, and then they buy like big houses, and then they realize they can't keep them because they're expensive. Nope. I would just stay where I am. Stay where I am. Continue taking like public transportation. Be a lot cheaper than a car. I certainly don't want to bother with that. And then I just quit my job at the factory, continue taking care of June, so that way I still have a flow of income. But that's what I would do. That'd be the easiest 5 million made in my life. Just being right against my boss, because it's not that hard. It's really not. And again, it's just like she constantly says, well, no one's going to stop doing their job to help you, and blah blah blah, and everyone has their own jobs. But then she makes me stop doing the job that I'm supposed to do to go do someone else's. Before Christmas, my roommate wasn't there because she went to Colorado with her brother. Not only did I get stuck doing her job, but it was on a day that I wasn't even supposed to be at the factory. It was on a Tuesday. She knew I worked with June on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So not only did I have to do someone else's job, I also had to come in on a day that I'm not there to do someone else's job. But no, when John asked for help, oh, can't do that, can we? You can't do that. Can't imagine why it would piss me off. I'm down there, it's 140 freaking degrees. I'm busting my ass, destroying my body for someone who, quite frankly, just doesn't give a shit. She just doesn't. If she was just to come out and say to me, I just don't care about you, you know, and no matter how much you do, I'm just gonna always, you know, act like it's not that much. I'm just gonna try to force you to do more because I just don't care. At least I'd have maybe some respect for her. But no, she tries to act like it's everyone has their own job. I'm doing my job, and yet you make me constantly stop doing my job to go do someone else's. So, but yeah, easiest 5 million of my life. If only. If only. That the Baylor still isn't fixed. So she also needs to learn and understand that I need to compensate for the fact that the Baylor is not working. It's not going down all the way, and it doesn't have the same crushing power it did before. So therefore, I need to compensate by having it, crushing it down and leaving it there for like a minute or two because it's not crushing the way it should because the cylinder is broken. And despite how big the world is, they can't find anyone to just custom make the cylinder. So now I'm working with a handicap because that it's essentially just broken. The cylinder is broken. We got hydraulic fluid leaking out all over the place all the time. So she clearly doesn't understand that the machine is broken. And I'm still able to do like 7 freaking bales a day. Huge bales. And yet it's not enough. Still not enough for her. So now I just kind of go in and just do whatever. Like today, I just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do a couple things with cardboard, and then I'm gonna do that plastic right there, and then I'm gonna do that luchador right, or yeah, the luchador, and then I'm gonna go around and collect carpet because I'm forced to do someone else's job for them. And luckily enough, there wasn't really much carpet, so I'm like, well, I think I'll just start another thing of cardboard. I didn't finish it, but it's still in the baler, so I'll just have to finish it on Monday. But I just doing what I want now. There's a lot of lab down there, but lab takes forever. It really does. It takes forever. They're heavy pieces, and a lot of those pieces I just can't lift up anymore. This isn't like 4 years ago when I first started. Like, or actually, I think it was like 2018 I started. So it's not the same for me then as it was then. I'm not as strong as I was then, where I was doing like 20 bales a day. Just can't do it anymore. Just can't. So if she has a problem, maybe she can stop hiring for housekeeping and hire someone to help me. But we know that's not going to happen. But anyways, yeah, that's the going ons of this week and last week. It's hot. Is it winter yet? Is it winter yet? I really like for it to be winter. Anyway, also, yeah, I'm sure you noticed little gnats or whatever the hell they are buzzing around. They're everywhere this time of year. I'm at work. They're flying around down in the factory. Go over to take care of June. They're over there. They're in here. Old houses like this easily get in. So I've been trying to keep pretty much control of them. There's always like there's that one that's buzzing around. It's like the only one left. I'll get it eventually, or it'll just do like the others did and just fly into this like an idiot. But yeah, those little bastards, they come in through the nooks and crannies and so annoying. I mean, I love being here, but I mean, they're not harmful. They're just annoying. Like I said, it's like you go to any building now, Any establishment, there they are flying around. Yeah, see, you can see the little bastard flying around. Anyway, God, I love summertime. Spiders crawling in the freaking house, the bugs coming in. Gotta love it. Is it winter yet? Is it winter? Everything will be dead in the winter. I love the winter. No spiders, no flies, no bugs, no ants. You know, I love it. I love it. Death. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.